I've come for a locomotive driver experience day here at Tunbridge Wells with the Spa Valley Railway, built by the London Brighton South Coast Line organisation. In Victorian times and the preservation line these days, they've got a good fleet of diesel locomotives and steam engines as well. What you can see behind me out there is the original terminus building here in Tunbridge Wells West, as it was then known, and we leave from what was the old yard and the engine sheds. We're going to run down the line through High Rocks Halt to Groombridge, and at Groombridge turn round and come back at a Class 31 diesel, and we have the driver instructor Johnny West with us. Steve's kindly videoing the experience. Take it from Tunbridge Wells West down to Groombridge, run around and bring it back, but pick up the train first. It's a driver experience day, and it's the Spa Valley Railway. That's the train brake. We're using the locomotive own brakes there, because we haven't got a train connected to it. Right. We do first to a main brake. The LC then release, which relates to that gauge there. Yeah. The handbrake slide to the right roll. Okay. Now we go out of here straight onto a downhill gradient. It's what we run in 100 first of all, which means we drop the foot every 100 feet we travel. Yeah. And then it goes even steeper to 1 in 88, which is the steepest part of the line. And we have a temporary speed restriction out here of 5 miles an hour. So if you want to push that away from you, it's always off. That's it. Now with your left hand on the straight air brake, push it away ever so gently. So that slows it up. Yeah, you feel the brake bind up. They're quite violent. They are. If you just want to get a feel for what it's like. The simulator boy's got that about right. In a way, you want to do it like you would with a car foot brake, where you don't slam your feet on your own car's pedal. So you just do it very gently. And that one there's your speedometer, as you can see, we're doing 5 miles per hour.
What's the limit in the yard?
It's 5 here because we've had a landslip just beyond that second bridge. And we actually used to run on that line there, but we've had to move over to this line to be able to go on the bit of the embankment which is stable enough to take the weight of the trains. And lots of brake tools, and that you could potentially have something like this with 200 tonnes of wagons behind you that haven't got any brakes on, so you're then purely reliant on the locomotive to stop you.
I was impressed with the steam brake on the old Ugly.
Yes, that's very, very powerful. That's very, you have to, a bit of skill in controlling that. Right, we're off at the speed limit now, so if we let the brake all the way off. Okay. Now, if you move that back to you one clip, this one here. Yeah. That's it, and another one. Keep putting it back. Now, one more. We're notch 3 now, the engine will start to rev up, which you can just hear in the background. As you can see, with the engine revs, the amps are increasing. And what the engine's coupled to is a generator, so it's now generating the current there, which goes to 4 traction motors. Yeah. And this loco, despite having 6 wheels, has only got 4 motors, 2 on each bogie.
What do they call that?
This is called a 818.
818, yeah. Right.
I'm going to push that away from you. Pull the weight off. And if you put your hand back on the brake, just push it away slightly. That's the retardation. And now we're doing 25 miles an hour there. What we want to do is maintain that.
Yeah, we're on the steepest
We're on the steepest part of the line here. It's 1 in 88, falling towards High Rocks.
Do that.
So yeah, if you want to just keep the speed at that level, we just maintain, using the brake. Right, if you leave the brake
making release because we're just coming off the grade now.
Oh, yeah.
The track actually it goes up to 1 in 660, which is quite flat. Right. So we will have to probably put a little bit of power on to keep us going through the woods. This flat is for high logs.
Oh, yeah.
Did you feel ready for some revisions then?
Yeah, it's very popular. We get a lot of rival parties coming on the train. And we're actually just about to come from the bottom of the valley.
Oh, yeah.
The high wheel here. And there's a road crossing that comes up. It's only a farm crossing, but you can see there's a little rod on the right hand side. Yeah. So when we get to that, you're just going to blast on the horn. There's nothing coming, so we'll fly.
Mind you, a farmer managed to drive in front of one of the Romney Highland interest trains the other
Yeah.
way.
Curve before we go on that one, which lines up, which is taking us down to the 10 miles an hour. It's applicable to this curve. And this is Loughborough Station. It's still decorated as Farquhar because we've just looked out the tops.
Oh, right.
Just gently push the brake away from the wheel again. Into the stand. Stop it here. And we'll go into the other cab and we'll drive back up there.
Tunbridge Wells very shortly up the hill.
How heavy is it? How heavy is it?
107 tonnes.
And push that to forwards.
Righty ho.
That's it. And now
And release.
release the brake and take that one.
And not sure. Here we go.
Oh, I see. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Here we are in the land of Thomas. Look.
Yes. So named after the station that appears in the original
Yeah.
Thomas series introduction at the end.
I don't think it existed in the books, but there you go. Played around with it.
Yeah.
Right, we're on the roll then. On the way back to Tunbridge Wells. Time for afternoon tea. Actually, we only recently had a huge baguette.
Oh, right, fair enough. I'm going to put it to number 2.
Yeah. Just start on the rise, I mean. Imagine the full revs on a motor like that is astronomical, isn't it?
They're quite impressive when they're going for it. They are very loud. I'm going to push it back a bit now.
There's a throttle pneumatic or
It tells it's a manual thing. It's literally moving a set of contacts on the desk, which tells the electrical equipment, which is actually at the other end of it now, for what it needs to do.
that bridge back there looks way narrower than you think when you come up towards it.
It certainly is on the underside as well. We regularly get struck by horse boxes and lorries and people who think it's higher than it is.
Yeah, I've seen a wagon stuck under one of those bridges. It might be that one.
These yellow pots, by the way, you see that what they've got is grease in them, and what they do is the wheels hit a little plunger, or the wheel flange hits a little plunger, and it takes the grease and spreads it on the inside edge of the rail.
That's where you don't get all the squeal.
So you don't get the squirrel, and what he also doesn't do is cut the wheel doesn't get cut into by the rail.
Right.
The wheel's softer than the rail because you don't want the rail to.
Is that something that's come up in recent years, or did BR use
The BR used to use them. Yeah. The wheels themselves, they've got something called a tyre on them.
Yep.
On these particular types of locomotive, and most things were built pre-1980s, I believe. And what you can do over time is if you don't have track that's either laid correctly or has the grease on it, you can damage the tyre to the point where you have to get new ones. And new
That's
ones
an expensive
they're very
business,
expensive.
I suppose.
They're about 1,000.
in Tunbridge Wells West? Is that the main?
That's the A26, that's the main Tunbridge Wells to Lewis Road via the A22.
go under steam experience sometime, but that's way more expensive than I.
Yeah, we're currently sold out of them.
Yeah. But no,
You push it back again to 13.1. We're just going to go into the platform where that breakdown is. And if you push it again away from it,
so you had to wind the points by hand then?
yeah, they're not all connected up at the moment. Just let it roll gently.
That's almost going to stop before.
Yeah, that's it. They're saying railway, let the railway drive in train. Right, I'm going to push the brake away from you now. There we are. Now push that one all the way away from you so that I can see again. That's it. And put that onto the engine only. And there we are.
Jumps are good.